What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Just Tap Tasting, where we taste some beers here at the Wilkie that we've just tapped. Brian Fisher here, episode number 83. And we got another beer from our friends over at Grimm. And, they're so popular, and they're making so much delicious beer that I don't know if I've ever taken the time to just tell you a little bit of their backstory on the show, so I'll tell you that right now real quick. Joe and Lauren Grimm started Grimm Artisanal Ales in 2013, give or take, and they've been thriving ever since. They're a nomadic brewery or gypsy brewery, which means that they don't have a home just yet. We'll talk about that in a second. But they've been kind of exploring the fermented beverages and beers for the last 10 years or 10 years prior to them getting started officially as a brewery and distributing their wonderful juice to the masses. And still to this day, I believe, more or less, they test all of their recipes. They start all their recipe creation process in their Gowanus apartment down in Brooklyn here. And it's pretty awesome. The beers they come up with are super creative, and that's definitely the case here today. We have the Super Spruce, and it is a spruce tip Gose. And just real quick about the style Gose, it's a German style. It came out of the town or place specifically of Goslar, Germany. And in Goslar, this beer is known for its salt and coriander ingredients. And the reason why the salt component came through is actually the water that's available in Goslar has a very high salinity content, like just naturally in the water. So based on that and the coriander, these are actually two things that would not fly in the German brewing scene because of the laws that exist there. But this beer style is actually exempt from those laws, and it's kind of been grandfathered in and allowed to persist as a style, even though it breaks the German purity law known as the Reinheitsgebot. Well, obviously in the States here, in US and here in Brooklyn, New York, we don't have to abide by that law, so we've gotten creative with this style, as the Grimms have, and so they're not only using salt and coriander in this sour beer style, the Gose, but they're also using spruce tips. Spruce tips are little mini trees. I'm going to put one right here. Little mini tree from a spruce tree. It's probably not a mini tree. Well, that's kind of what a branch is, right? Right? A tree is just, never mind. We'll leave that alone. Spruce tip. So definitely you're going to get, that piney kind of, spicy, I'm in a forest kind of aroma, which is really cool. And it adds some, it definitely can be overdone. I've had it overdone in some beers. It can just dominate the flavor. I mean, like if you're in a forest, it's kind of like those trees like really just take over the smells in the air. But let's, color-wise, similar to, it's definitely light straw yellow, similar to maybe a, similar to lots of stuff. I won't even go down that road, but classic kind of beer color, if you will. The one other thing, a little bit of a cloud here, and the one other thing that's significant or consistent with this style is the grain or mash bill of this beer is going to be 50%, at least 50% malted wheat. So wheat is going to this beer stems out of, your wit beers and your Weiss beers of German brewing tradition. So that's where this came from. So it still has that grain bill of a malted wheat that is stylistically consistent with those other beers as well. All right, it's nose time. Definitely lemony, citrus nose. Like candy lemon, but I'm still smelling like the really tartness of the lemon, and then a hint of pine and fresh tree or fresh cut brush. I like it. It makes me want to drink it, which I'm going to do right now. Yeah, lemon, citrus. You get a little hint of pine that kind of contributes to this dryness that kind of makes you want to just continue to go back to this beer. Sometimes Goses can make you want to take a break from them because they're so acidic or salty, or just they go too far in one direction. But in true Grimm fashion, this one is incredibly balanced and delicious. And we get a little bit of, actually, they talk about it, and maybe it's just suggestive that I'm just listening. But yeah, it's like a little bit of like a sweet, like kind of bubblegum quality to it as well, which is delightful. It's really good. You should come in and drink a Super Spruce, 4.7% alcohol. Oh, before I forget, I was telling you, so they've been a nomadic brewery, gypsy brewery. They don't have a home, they just brew with their friends. And I think, you know, they're already under construction in the Bushwick, East Williamsburg area. Grimm is going to have their own facility in 2017. We're super excited about it. Stay tuned for more results on that. We'll constantly, as we have beers with them on the show, we will keep you up to date on that. But we're pumped. We're pumped to have Grimm close by and be our neighbors, waving the flag of delicious beer. And yeah, question of the day. Have you had a spruce tip beer before? This is my second spruce tip beer. Maybe third, actually. Have you had one? Or are you just like, you have no clue what spruce tip is? Let me know in the comments below. That's what this is about. And have a great day. Cheers.